Mary Meeker is a renowned venture capitalist and former Wall Street analyst known as the Queen of the Internet for her influential annual Internet Trends reports that have forecasted major shifts in tech, commerce, and consumer behavior since the 1990s. But she stopped putting out reports in 2019 to focus on her new investment firm, Bond. So I was thrilled to find out that she dusted off the big deck format again yesterday. My reaction to this year's 340-page tome is that there's not a whole lot of surprises here if you've been following AI news even casually. There's lots of establishing data here showing how AI has been adopted faster than any technology in history, how it's being used by consumers and organizations alike, how the big AI companies are growing rapidly. But what the report does do really well is tell the story of AI, not just how it came to be everywhere, but also why we should continue talking about it, because it is irreparably changing the course of history as we know it. It's a great reference to pull out when you need to convince someone, whether that be your boss or your mum, that AI is not just a fad. Today, I'm sharing my highlights from the report that I think are most relevant to us in the retail sector, whether you're a retailer, a brand, or on the agency side. Let's jump in. Number 1, from chatbots to agentic copilots. Thankfully, from my point of view at least, we're bustling past those clumsy chat widgets that nobody really likes toward long-running agents that can reason, act, and complete multi-step tasks on a user's behalf. The report shows mainstream launches that are happening right now. We have Salesforce Agentforce, Anthropic's computer use agent, OpenAI operator, and drumroll please, Amazon's Nova Act. And these are all targeting slightly different use cases and users, from consumers to programmers to commerce. It's all in here. Why this matters for retailers? Well, brands and retailers have to start thinking about integrating with whatever AI agent your customer is already using. So instead of building a chatbot on your website, you need to be thinking about new protocols like Model Context Protocol or MCP and Google's Agent to Agent. And these are systems that will allow AI agents to directly pass your product catalog and take actions directly, rather than a bot type experience, which is very clumsy and expensive. Getting an agent to crawl the front end of your website is really inefficient. This is the path that Walmart is already pursuing. I spoke about this a few episodes ago. If you want to go check that out, they are adopting this agent to agent route. There's also implications here for the future of on-site sponsored product ads. Sponsored product ads are really the backbone of retail media as it currently stands. And so this business model is really in question if a lot of our consumer actions in the future are going to be directly with our preferred AI companion agent. You can read more about this in an article I just wrote for Forbes over the weekend titled "Why AI Search Advertising Could Reach $25 billion by 2029." And that is based on some brand new analysis from eMarketer sharing that very forecast. Implication number 2, lightning speed consumer adoption. Every tech cycle seems to be halving the time it takes to reach 50% household penetration. ChatGPT crossed 365 billion annual searches in just 2 years, which was 5.5 times faster than Google's climb to the same milestone. Mary Meeker's report points out that this is the first tech cycle to debut globally on day one, which compressed the initial diffusion curve. Unlike the tech rollouts of the past, there wasn't any gradual rollout. There was no waiting for international expansion. Everyone across the world got access to these tools at the same time. Why this matters in retail is the whole world has mass AI literacy all at the same time. And emerging shoppers, whether those are the young generations, our Generation A, Alpha, I think is the newest one, or people in emerging markets who are only just starting to get access to the internet, they're all going to arrive expecting natural language search, personalized discovery, and these buy for me type agents, and potentially even expect to be able to engage with voice commerce right off the bat. Highlight number 3, marketing gets the AI treatment first. The report picks up on some research from Morgan Stanley, which found that 75% of global CMOs are already testing or using generative AI tools. And marketing seems to be one of the first sort of battlegrounds for AI within the Fortune 500. Why this matters for retail? First of all, creative velocity. We already have lots of tools and use cases where we can auto-generate hundreds of ad variants and product content and let the data choose which wins. Highlight number 4, infrastructure and supply chain revolution. Meeker's report flags supply chain optimization, precision manufacturing, and multi-purpose robotics among the next big AI frontiers. Innovation in autonomous vehicles is one big area here. She shows how Waymo has accelerated expansion and how Tesla's fully self-driven miles have been ramping up really quickly. And this is the consumer-first beachhead. But of course, we're going to see commercial applications following quickly, including shipping, logistics, and trucking that are going to be dramatically cheaper going forward. Why this matters for retail? We're going to see all of these very expensive and costly and time-consuming aspects of the supply chain be made much more efficient. Dynamic routing, demand forecasting, autonomous distribution centers, these are all going to cut speed to market, cut stockouts, and free up cash that's currently tied up in inventory and logistics inefficiencies. So this is going to be a huge win for retailers and brands. Highlight number 5, workforce reinvention. US AI-related job postings have risen 448% since 2018, while non-AI job postings fell 9%. And this is in the IT sector. We've all seen these reports. We've all heard of companies making layoffs because of AI efficiencies. Where I think it's heading for retail is the senior people, like a senior media buyer or an e-commerce director, is very soon going to be managing teams of agents who are trained and focused on specific outcomes. And unfortunately, I think this means a lot less opportunities for junior people to come up through the ranks and learn by getting their hands dirty. And that's going to require a big rethink of what the future of work looks like. Highlight number 6, the global internet gets a fresh start. 2.6 billion people, or 32% of the world's population, still aren't online. But what it means is, thanks to low-cost, satellite-driven internet connectivity, that's changing fast. And the world is going to get 32% more online consumers very, very soon. As this report puts it, when these new users come online, they likely won't be met by browsers and search bars. They'll start with AI and in their native language. Just imagine a first experience of the internet that doesn't involve typing a query into a search engine, but instead talking to a machine that talks back. Meanwhile, real-time translation and voice cloning tools are raising localization barriers. The report highlights companies like 11 Labs, which are showing hockey stick usage growth. What does this mean for retail? Well, cross-border selling and localized content are going to significantly cut international expansion costs. Combine this with point number 4 about logistics costs getting cut, and we can see a future where it's so much faster and cheaper to expand to new geographies than ever before. Likewise, reviews and user-generated content can flow quickly back into local languages. Just think about how Amazon does this really well in their product review ecosystem. I can see reviews from consumers from Japan or from Mexico, and it's all localized back into English, so I can see what users in other markets have to say about that product too. Bringing this all into land, I keep coming back to a quote that Meeker includes from Alistair Nairn's Engines That Move Markets, which distills 2 centuries of economic cycles. And this is the quote: "The winners of these competitive struggles are not always those who have the best technology, but those who can most clearly see the way that an industry or market is likely to develop. While identifying the winners from any new technology is often perilous and difficult, it's almost invariably simpler to identify who the losers are going to be." And that last line hits hard for me. We might not know exactly which AI strategies will dominate retail in 5 years, but it's easier to spot the current practices and business models that are going to get left behind. The companies that are still thinking in terms of keyword search when we're already moving into these more conversational interfaces. The ones treating AI as a nice to have rather than rebuilding their core customer experience around it. Or the ones that think that AI is just a fad. Mary Meeker's return to her 300-page reports feels like a wake-up call. AI isn't just a productivity tool, it's changing huge swaths of customer behavior, economic fortunes, and even, something I didn't get into in this podcast, geopolitical futures. And unlike previous tech cycles, this one isn't giving anyone time to catch up.